September, maybe October, and he's back.
September, maybe October?
Yeah, when I upload this video.
Don't you mean October, maybe November?
December. Well, at least it's not going to be all blurry like last year's video. That was fun. That was filmed on my phone. That was, yeah, trippy.
Yeah.
Yeah. Should have been editing. I literally fell off the stairs. No, wanted to fall off the chair when I was doing it. But yes, this is going to be chatty and long tonight.
No, it's not. I'm just going to go, ha stuff, things, blah, 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 blah. Because I'm out of practice. I'm massively out of practice. So, hello. Good to see you, buddy.
Yeah. Last time?
Yep. Good to see you, buddy.
So as you can tell by the titles, these are the top 3 games we played through, or a little bit of, in 2023.
But we're going to do like what, one honourable mention?
Yeah, I've got 1 honourable and 1 dishonourable mention. So
should we start with that?
yeah, let's go for it. Me or you?
You.
Yeah, right. So my decision... oh, for fuck's sake. I'm going to try not to be all this... We used to do this every other week and it was easy. Yeah, so my dishonourable mention really sucks. Because he's going to fucking laugh, which I know he is. Because the dishonourable mention is Mortal Kombat 1. So the story, fantastic. Loved it from start to finish. Brilliant. The gameplay, oh my god. Mortal Kombat 11, loved playing it. Could even put it on now today and enjoy it. Mortal Kombat 1, no. And also, forgot that they got rid of the crypt and they bought invasion mode. The most boring piece of shit ever. And so no, I'm not happy with Mortal Kombat 1. Sucks that the story was good. The new DLC's coming out soon. But it just plays so bad and I don't want to be when I'm doing my combos. I want to be no. And I mean, we had Mortal Kombat when we went to Street Fighter 6, and Street Fighter 6 was fantastic. But Mortal Kombat 1 was, nah. I should have done what he did and just watched it as a movie.
Yeah. Shock and surprise. Street Fighter good, Mortal Kombat bad. Well, who'd ever know?
I paid £240 for the special edition of Mortal Kombat 1 and sold it to CX. That's how annoyed I was with it. But yes. Do you have a dishonourable mention, sir?
Well, I think it would be Balan Wonderland. It was really cheap, but oh my god, it's so bad.
The first trailer was so, it's like, oh, we're getting Knights, we're getting Dreamcast stuff back.
And it reminded me of Skylanders as well. It did definitely remind me of Skylanders looking at it because of what the different things you could do, different skills and stuff. And I was like, yeah, you know, that looks alright. And it was the most boring, bland game I've ever played in my life. It's so boring. So boring.
I played the demo. As I was saying to Tony a minute ago, the actual game is £1 in CEX. And it's not worth that. So, no. No, would you get it on Steam, did you?
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, it was very cheap. It was only like £3 or £4 or something, but it was still, nah.
No.
You know, it's just one of those things that just bugged me. Otherwise I wouldn't have had it as a dishonourable mention because it just bugged me just how bad it actually was. And how, like, you know, Yuji Naka's name's all over it and he wasn't really involved very much and just all that kind of, we were talking about it earlier.
Didn't he get, like, insider trading or something this year as well?
I think he did.
Yeah. Oh, it's a shame. It's a shame because it's like, the nostalgia look of that game and everything was just like, it's Yuji, so...
Yeah.
No. What was the game on the Wii he did?
Rodea the Sky Soldier.
Yeah, I've still not unsealed
That's really good.
I've still not unsealed
You got the open one, haven't you?
Oh yeah, I bought the disc for the Wii.
Yeah.
I had no intention of playing the Wii U version. None whatsoever.
No, it was awful.
See, I know what level 1 and 2 is. Just don't know what number 3 is. I'm going to have to refer to my phone. For fuck's sake.
Please stand by.
I have editing tools.
Let's all go to the lobby. Let's all go to the lobby. Let's all go to the lobby.
Oh, bloody hell.
And get ourselves a treat. Dun, dun.
They didn't have any cornettos, mate, I'm sorry.
My butter kissed?
No.
Bastard.
No. That's some JPS.
I do.
Do you remember when they used to sell cigarettes at the cinema? Like, a long time ago.
So you used to have the ashtrays like on the back of the seats.
The metal ones.
And if you weren't careful, you'd catch them and they'd go like boom, and you just dump cigarette butts all over your lap. Oh my god, horrible nasty things.
Unlike now, when you have like deluxe chairs and you get comfortable with the motors and stuff like that, especially at the views of Westwood Cross. But yes, anyway, so my number 3 game of the year. So I'm a shill for fan stuff, as Tony's well aware and told everyone over the years. And so my number 3 game was Spider-Man 2 on the PlayStation 5.
Hey, it was a good game though.
It was so good. So I loved the first one, and I can't stop going left to right in these chairs. I've tried, it is impossible. Just have to keep moving. It played well. It added the other half of the city, and they took out like some extras. You know, they took out as much collectibles and put them on the other side. So it had the same runtime as Spider-Man 1. The story was good because there was twists on every character and stuff like that. And it played so well. I literally got all of the trophies bar 2, and the 2 trophies I could have got, I just could put on any time. The only thing I seem to be disappointed by is I basically 100% of the game other than the 2 trophies. So I was waiting for some like DLC add-on content and stuff, but where is it? Where is it? But Spider-Man 2 for me was a 10 out of 10 game, fantastic, and the twist was so good. It was
well, at least they didn't do the stupid shit they did last time with the first Spider-Man, where they kind of like broke up half the missions into fucking DLC, or like extra missions into DLC. So.
Yeah, so I played it the way where I finished the whole game and then I did the DLC missions. I'm like, that makes sense now. But yeah, Spider-Man 2, fan from start to finish, fantastic. 14-hour game, I think it was. And just fun, just really, really fun, not frustrating. Very intuitive controls. Struggle to say that word. It's only 2 o'clock in the morning. But yeah, really, really good.
Okay. Since he did a horrible, hideous mobile game as one of his like thingy ones, I will have my hideous, horrible mobile game as well as mine. Even though I'm not playing it on mobile, I'm playing it on PC, and that is Magic the Gathering Arena, which I've been playing the past year pretty comprehensively.
Did you play Nintendo?
I was, yeah.
It's a card game.
Yes, it's a card.
And that's my knowledge.
The good thing about it is that it's free to play, and it's one of those ones that you could quite happily play ages and ages and ages without ever having to spend any money at all. My advice is never spend a penny on it, because it has quite a good system of getting money and stuff on it. So you can just buy cards, and you get gifted cards, you get gifted packs, and this kind of stuff. The more you play it, so you just play it loads. Play it loads every week, and you know you got like a daily amount you're supposed to kind of like get, sort of thing. And once you do that, you know you're done for the day, really. But it's still fun to play as well, though. So yeah, I definitely kind of recommend that. I've really enjoyed that. I haven't played Magic. I hadn't played Magic until like last year, beginning of last year, and I kind of played it in person, and then played the digital one as well. So I kind of got into it, and it's a bit of a money pit in real life. It's a massive money pit in real life. It's all about, you know, spending a lot of money to get a strong deck, and the online version isn't. The online version isn't. The online version just is not like that. You can just kind of get like wild cards and just choose any card you want. So it's really, really handy. So that will be my number 3.
I saw him lose. Because he just kept saying that guy's a 12, or was it a 16?
It's like 16 or
I didn't know what he was talking about.
He was just, he was like reading like loads of everything, and I just like, no, I can't do nothing. That happens.
And I still play Mortal Kombat Mobile for an hour every day to this day. So, I'm sorry, but I do. So my number 2 game is Far Cry 6. So I fucking love the Far Cry games. Not so keen on number 2 though.
I said some stuff, he coughed, blah blah blah.
Yeah, so Far Cry 6 for me was a brilliant game. I played it for ages, put off playing it forever. I love all the Far Cry games though. I don't think I've ever not enjoyed a Far Cry game. I've actually got
Apart from
Avatar.
2.
Yeah, apart from 2. I've got Avatar to play, which is Avatar and Far Cry Universe.
Yeah.
And
I want to play Star Wars Far Cry. Star Wars Far Cry, Assassin's Creed kind of looks good.
Yeah, Outworld.
Yeah.
Outlaws.
Outlaws.
Yeah, that one. Ubisoft are doing well at the moment, aren't they?
Yeah, hence like that being like $29.99 at the moment. You know,
But the whole world of Far Cry 6 just spoke to me from the start. I made the mistake of picking the guy. So you get a choice of your character's called Danny. You can pick a girl or a guy, and I picked the guy, and everything he was saying, the way he was just annoying me, and I'm just like, surely I can't. He's not going to be like this the whole game. And so I did my usual thing, went online, and everyone's like, "Don't pick the guy, just pick the girl." So I changed to the girl, and she's fantastic. She's actually sounds like she wants to. She's not there just reading a script, which is what the guy sounded like. She actually sounded like she was part of the character of the game.
Could this be Chris's blood?
A mansion. And so I did the main game. I spent probably 60 hours doing the main game. Did all of the side stuff. Really struggled to do the wingsuit stuff. I couldn't get my head around the controls, but they were just kind of like add-on stuff. They weren't part of the main game. But then I finished the main game, and about 6 months down the line, the massive DLC pack, which included DLCs 1, 2 and 3, which is basically the main bad guys from the previous games, and you see why they become bad guys. And then I can't remember the name of the last DLC, which was massive. And it's the end of Danny's story, the last DLC, and a lot of people that haven't played that really should, because it finishes the story off, and it's really good. It's just Far Cry. If you like Far Cry, you will like this. Personally, I find it better than Far Cry 5 and 4. Just good, just real good fun, and really enjoyed it. So, yeah, Far Cry 6, loved it.
So, my number 2. Well, I've got to admit that I hardly played anything last year. So I'm actually choosing a game. I actually played a lot more this year. So I'm actually choosing a game I haven't finished, but I really love. I've only played for about 3 or 4 hours. That's it. And that will be Baldur's Gate 3. Because I love it, and it's awesome, but I can't get into it. I just can't get into it. It's just like every time I go to play it, I just kind of... I think the biggest problem is I'm playing it on PC. And I like moving around out of battle with the joypad. But in battle, I prefer using the mouse.
Okay, yeah.
So what I end up doing is I've got the joypad, and then like, okay, the fight starts, so I put the joypad down, get the mouse, and it breaks my immersion when I do that.
Yeah.
Because the mouse and joypad like user interfaces on the battle screen are completely different.
Okay.
They're completely different, and I much prefer the mouse one. So I've been struggling. That's what I'm struggling with on it. Because it's breaking my immersion on it. Even though I absolutely love it, and I really want to get it played before like Dragon Age comes out. I really want to get it played before Dragon Age comes out.
A month to go.
Yes. Yes. So but I will try at some point. Keep putting the odd thing on here and there and stuff, but
yeah.
I keep going back to bloody Magic Online all the time, just because it's something to do. To do, just get dailies done for an hour every day. It's something to do, isn't it? Really.
I did play some Metroid Samus Returns today, didn't you?
Yeah, we did. We did. And I enjoyed it very much, and we'll probably go and play it again later. So it was very good. But that was this year, and not last year.
Right, so I'm going to go on to my honourable mention. So I think a lot of people will think this should be my number 1 game of the year, but it's not, because I'm quite new to the universe. And it's going to be Zelda Breath of the Wild.
Which was like my number 1 last year, or was it Horizon thingy? Because it was literally like both. So it was something like both Horizons and Zelda are my top 3, because it was just all that stuff, and I can't remember which one where it went.
Yeah, so it took me quite a few attempts to get into it, and in my head I had it built up where I had this just barrier of somebody hold my hand, help me. And what actually helped me get into it, so I played it 2 or 3 times before. I got to levels where parts where I was just stuck, didn't have the right clothes to keep me warm, and I just got fed up. I just got really fed up. It came to a point where I just wanted to play it, and I'm going to force myself to play it. So I started to play it, and then got to a point where I was really getting into it, but everything seemed to be a bit confusing for me. So I bought my Switch around here and asked Mr. Zelda God of the time, because his Zelda was just miles ahead of mine. And he basically just showed me common sense. I just think I was just afraid to experiment on my own. Yeah,
you're so used to having your handheld.
Yeah.
That's the problem. You play these handheld games all the time. So, they had waypoint markers to everything you've got to do. It has tutorials saying, you make this with this and this, you know. And it doesn't do that. It goes, here's a world, go and do some shit. And I'll have side missions that kind of work like tutorials. But you've got to go and do those side missions, you can't just kind of,
I mean, before this Zelda, I'd only played the remake of the Game Boy Color one, was it?
Game Boy.
Game Boy one.
It was on the Game Boy Color as well.
And I really, really enjoyed that. But I did finally get in. Once I got my foot through the door, once I'd been around, and I was happy to learn to cook and, you know, upgrade my ability, upgrade my stamina, upgrade my life.
It was your cooking and your clothes that were the problem.
Yeah.
That was
Yeah.
your biggest problem, and upgrading your life
Yeah.
and all that kind of stuff.
But once I got into the game, I couldn't stop playing. I really loved it. But it's just one of those games where I just was so happy to play it. And for me, for like my foot in the door for Zelda games, fantastic. I do want to play them all. And hey, I played Tears of the
But
Kingdom.
it took you a long time to actually get into it.
Yeah.
Like, it's like you said. But the thing was, I was coming from a completely different place.
Yeah.
I played like all of the Zeldas,
Yeah.
kind of like leading up to that.
Mm.
And I struggled with it. I struggled with it massively, like the same amount of times, like 3 or 4 times or something. I tried to play it, and I just didn't like it. I think the weapons breaking was my biggest bugbear,
Oh my
which
god,
you
was
do
that
get
annoying.
used to. Yeah, but especially at the beginning, because they're literally like bonk, bonk, bonk,
Branch,
smash.
branch, smash.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's ridiculous. Like the model a bit better, but it's like, to start with, it doesn't help if that's your initial impression of the game.
Yes. Yes. Because I knew about the weapons breaking, and I was just kind of like,
Oh, yeah.
oh.
Yeah.
But no, once I got into it, I was fine. I couldn't have been more disappointed by the last boss.
Yeah.
And it was just so easy. And I'm just kind of like, what? You know? And I said to you about it, and you're like,
It wasn't even the fact that it was easy, it was just boring. It was so uninteresting.
And it's
So
like, oh, he's doing
uninteresting.
this, so I know I've got to do this. There was nothing to think about. It was just...
It was just really dull. It's supposed to become this big epic final showdown.
And then when you get on the field and he's in big mode,
Yeah,
sort of
that's
stuff,
even more boring.
Oh, let's go around in circles and just
Yeah.
boom, 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 boom,
Yeah.
boom. Yeah. But thoroughly did enjoy it. It would be my number 4 game of the year, if I'm honest. It's 100% my number 4 game of the year. But it's not my number 1. As I said, I'm a fan of many things. So, we'll see. And do you have an honourable mention?
Honourable mention will probably be Grand Blue Fantasy Versus, which I have put lots of time on, and we actually played a couple of weeks ago.
The first time I played that game, it was great. Was that the one that was judgery?
No, it was January afterwards.
Oh, it was judgery afterwards, yeah. But we've solved that now, haven't we? Yeah. So, yeah, he introduced this to me on the PC last year, obviously. And I literally went out and bought the PS4 version the next day. And it was really good, really good. Arc System works, so I love.
But yeah, it's really cool because it's not just a versus kind of fighting game. You've got this kind of weird Guardian Hero style story mode thing where you kind of like wander through and you kind of fight multiple enemies at the same time and stuff. And it's just really cool. It's just really, really fun. And it's like an RPG thing where you build up your stats and you build this up and you build that up. And
Isn't there a Grand Blue RPG out now?
there is, yes. Only that's kind of, it's kind of like a lightweight sort of RPG, kind of very action RPG kind of thing. Yeah, but it looks good. Someone want this, but I haven't seen it cheap enough yet. I mean, give it another 6 months and it'll be cheap enough. Probably. So.
Yeah. But I enjoyed the bit we played with it. It was cool. Was that the one that had the dude with the cat? Was it a cat? You like chucked the cat out, or was it a frog? Because we played so many games.
I can't remember. Was it a frog?
It just turned up in the background and it helped him do a mood now and again.
I can't remember.
Brain dead.
Yeah, so many games.
Yeah,
so many
games.
games.
Yeah.
No, I can't remember.
No.
So many games.
No, because the cat one was from the bloody sword game you bought me on the PS2. Arcs or something.
Oh yeah, EX Shining X.
That's the one. Yeah, because I was using it. It's pretty cool because she has cats in all of her moves, and I'm a cat person. Can you tell?
Oh, and there's also that one. What do you call it? Thingy with the cats, isn't there? Where she kind of like fires all the cats.
Nitro Burst.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's another cool one.
Yeah. But no, it's a cool. I mean, we enjoyed our kind of bursts on there.
Yeah.
At first you were kind of beating me, and I kind of come back.
I was playing it straight away because I've been playing one of the Blazers, or so I was just firing out a few
Street
combos.
Fighter as well.
Yeah, the Street Fighter. Yeah. But yeah, he tend to like won the last 7 in a row or something like that. Yeah. Kick my ass, but it was so much fun.
I lost my first 2 or 3 in a row though, didn't I? And then I kind of come back and
and came out the champion.
yes,
Yeah.
They played the Rocky music and I had to come back. So yay!
No, let's not go there.
So yeah, I put a lot of hours into it. Put a lot of hours.
Yeah.
The RPG mode thing is a lot of fun. It really is.
Is it like the Blaze RPGs or not?
No, that's not really an RPG. That's normally it's the story mode, really, isn't it? That's just an elongated story mode.
Yeah.
Whereas this actually is like an RPG mode. You actually choose where you go.
Oh,
you
right.
kind of like
it's not
choose
set
who
out
you
then.
fight and all this kind of stuff. It's not a set thing. I think there might actually be a story mode separate as well.
Yeah.
To the RPG mode, I'm not sure, but no, it's really good, and it's got arcade mode, of course, as well, all that kind of stuff. But it's just really good.
Much coolness. It's sat on my shelf.
It's it's very easy to pick up and play and learn. That's what I love about it. I love those ones that are easy to pick up and play, but are really sort of tough to master. Those sort of games are really like a ground mark of the walls. That just really appeals to me. That sort of style of game. So yeah, that is my number 2. So one's 4. Yes, number 4.
Honourable mention.
Yes, I'll mention number 4.
Number 4.
Yeah, number 4.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. True. So we're on to our number 1 game. Wasn't really expecting to enjoy this game as much as I did. Star Wars Fallen Jedi. I really liked the first one, and mini Dark Souls. I did struggle with playing the first one for a bit. When I come around to playing the second one, it hit with me straight away. And I'll see if I can find a picture of my cow in the end. If it is, it's there. I hope I can, because he's pretty cool.
Your cow?
Yeah, it's his name Cal, isn't it? The main character's name is Cal, and you can customise
Yeah, but you said you were saying cow.
Oh, right. Cal.
I'll show you pictures of my cow.
And yeah, I mean, once you got to the hub world, and it's the same layout. I mean, it could have been an Ubisoft game. I know it was by Call of Duty EA guy, Vince Zampella. Yeah. But everything about it, have you played it?
I've not played the new one. I struggled with the old one.
Yeah.
I got to a point with the old one where I just kind of like, I hadn't played, I saved it, hadn't played it for a while. Now I couldn't remember which direction I was going.
No.
Whether I was going that way.
Going to.
No, just which direction I was going on the level.
Right, yeah.
And I was like, and I just never got back to it. Because it didn't matter which way I went. It seemed to be, there was loads of stuff either direction.
Yeah.
I'm like, I can't remember. So it was like, I should just kind of like try it again, because it is fun to play.
I mean, the second one is lots of planet hopping, and obviously you keep going back to your main planet, and you've got this settlement on your main planet where you get to know everyone, and of course everyone's all fractured out, all over the city doing their own things, and basically you start a bar up, and over time you go around, do side missions for people, and they all start coming to the club, coming to the bar. And it's a long ass side thing, but you can go to your planets, do your missions on your planets, come back, and then go and find someone else on the planet to add to the bar. And I did everything in that game, 100% of it. And when I'd finished it, you can continue after the story. And basically, I just went out and I went into the bar every couple of days just to get every single bit of dialogue there was in the game. I enjoyed it that much. And then there's a bit that continues after the dialogue bit, which I won't spoil because you haven't got there. It's quite important. And when I'd finished the game, I was just like, that game was in my head more than anything when I played it last year. Daughter's daughter Paige played it. She got to a point where she struggled with the controls, so it was quite hard, and she just stopped playing it. But once I got into it, I just could not stop playing it. And I went around, I got all the different colour sabres and kyber crystals. I didn't do a lot of the challenge rooms because they were way too hard. But it was so good. If only Disney could take note of how to make good Star Wars stories, at least. Other than The Mandalorian and Andor. Andor is fantastic. But yeah, so for all intents and purposes, Star Wars Fallen Jedi, my favourite game of the year that I played through last year, and I'd advise you play it if you can, if it's your type of game. And yeah, it was just brilliant. I was so happy to play it. And that's my lot that I played in 20. That's not my lot. I actually played for about 20 games, which is about average for me, I guess. So yeah.
Okay, so on to my number 1, which has been mentioned. and it's Zelda Tears of the Kingdom, or Tears of the Kingdom, which I played last year, because I only played that like about 2 months after I played Breath of the
Yeah.
Wild, so I went into it very fresh, which was nice. Because you get just back into the world and you're like, yeah, you know, and it's just great. Because like the world is the game, the world is the story, the world is the whole thing.
Yeah.
It's such a weird thing. It's a weird concept, and it works really well. Anyone who's kind of played it will kind of understand exactly what I meant by that. Even though it doesn't make a lot of sense to anyone else.
Yeah, they're like, huh? What?
Yeah.
Isn't it all games?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
No, that is not all games.
One thing I will put into this is I've played through Tears of the Kingdom now, and to me, Breath of the Wild feels like a demo.
It does.
It feels like a loose demo.
I think
loose
that I think the fact that you've played Tears has lowered
Yeah.
your estimation.
Yeah. For Breath of the Wild.
If you hadn't played Tears this year, I think Breath of the Wild would have been higher up.
Yeah. I think Tears was my first game of the year.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think it was my first game I played for. Was it? First or second? It was earlier in
And
the year.
again, that's going to end up being on next year's list, lower down, because it's an earlier one. Because you're like, oh, the newest shiny is the best shiny.
You know me well.
I do indeed.
But how far did you get in Tears in the end?
Only halfway.
Yeah.
Only halfway. I still haven't finished it. I was on the bit with the, you know, the temple where you got to fire the arrows to light things up and use light crystals and stuff.
Yeah.
And
It's so much bigger.
yeah.
It's as soon as you get to the underworld part as well, you're like, wait,
Yeah.
what?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And there's a sky bit. You know.
Yeah.
It's like, you know,
It's so big. I watched Happy Console Gamer, and he was going on about how it felt like it was never going to end. It felt like it was never going to end. I'm sorry. It's like I never lost this interest. I was just like, I was looking forward to playing it every single day.
That's how I felt like it.
And
The only reason I stopped playing it was I just got frustrated with the puzzle, and I needed a break. Because like I said, I went straight into that after playing P. So I've only done like two of like the big missions in the sport.
yeah.
But
Yeah. Yeah.
And you know, so I've only done that. But the thing is, I've done a lot of other stuff. Like my full map is uncovered. I have done all the towers. I have done, you know,
That's the first thing.
a lot of stuff.
Go get the towers done.
That's one of the
Go
first
get the
things
maps
really going
open.
done. Yeah. So I've actually spent I've spent like 30 hours in it, even though I'm only kind of technically halfway through it.
See, I think I did about 80, but there was, for me, I finished the main game, but for me there was like, when you go to each village, they've all got something they want you to do.
Yeah.
And I think there's about 350 hours worth of content in it, and it's so much fun to play.
Yeah.
And the builder mechanic, I did try building my own sort of mech thing one night, but it just was going around in circles and falling apart. So
I
like
really enjoyed the building mechanic actually.
yeah.
That's banjo nuts and bolts. See, that's how you should have done it.
Yeah.
It would have been good, rather than being sucky and crap and not what people wanted.
The start-up bit was Banjo. Yeah.
Which made it even worse.
Mm.
You know.
Let's give everyone expectations and then take them away.
Like it's like the guy that did what do you call it, Brutal Legend learned that because he's like when you first start playing Brutal Legend, it's like Devil May Cry.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden it turns into real-time strategy, and it's like, what the actual fuck?
I can't think of his name. Guy making stuff.
Yes. Go make stuff. Make psychonauts.
Yes. And it's not Vince Zampella. Because I said Vince Zampella, it's always in my head.
No, Vince Zampella.
It's the funny guy that knows his humour.
The funny guy that knows his humour.
Yeah, he's funny. He made that, was it comic thing as well on the 360? Because he was owned, his company was owned by Microsoft for a little while, and they let them go.
Comic thing on the 360?
Yeah. You play like the comic book hero. I can never remember what it's bloody called. He's comic. He's a superhero. He flies and punches like all superheroes do. Well, not all of them fly.
Not all of them punch either.
That's true. Laser eyes.
Exactly. Weird how actually that's exactly who I was thinking of. Can we talk about X-Men 97?
Oh wow, yeah. So there's our top 3 games we've played. No honorable mentions and so forth.